May I come in, ma'am?
Come in.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sirs. Good evening, sirs.
Good evening. Sit.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pankaj,
Yes, ma'am.
please introduce yourself without using any information from your DAF.
Ma'am, as a person, I am quite optimistic and adaptable to the situations. Also, ma'am, I am quite enthusiastic and open to explore the new person and places. Also, ma'am, I like traveling and that's.
Okay. Your optional is anthropology. Tell me, what is the relationship of intelligence and cranial capacity?
Ma'am, in subsequent passage of evolution, we have seen that with increasing the cranial capacity from Australopithecus, then Homo erectus, and then Homo sapiens, the intelligence has been relatively increased. And also, ma'am, cognitive revolution happened after the Homo erectus. So, in that aspect, cranial capacity does play a role.
It does play a role?
Yes, ma'am.
So now that we have nearly fixed cranial capacity, so this means we have stopped evolving on the intelligence front?
Ma'am, in the context of intelligence, yes, along with cranial capacity, other factors also play a role. Like, ma'am, we have seen the evolution of tools. So, in that aspect, cultural factors also play a role. And, ma'am, coming to the artificial intelligence, though we are having the less cranial capacity and it is estimated that our brain size will decrease, but the artificial intelligence that will equip us more comprehensively.
Okay. So do you think with the advent of artificial intelligence, humans will become smarter or they will become dumber?
Ma'am, in my perspective, the use of artificial intelligence will decide whether we are going backwards or forward. But there is substantial threat, as Yuval Noah Harari in his book Homo Deus also talks about that. But, ma'am, in my personal opinion, human intelligence will be far superior with the presence of mind, with the emotional aspect attached to it. So I don't think that it will completely be a dumber.
So there are talks regarding artificial intelligence developing systems of communication of their own, whereby certain bots which were operational, they developed their own language and started communicating. And there are certain talks regarding or certain conflicts regarding some top personalities. Like some support AI, some don't support AI. So what is your stand?
Ma'am, I think the rational use and specific guidelines and regulation must be there regarding AI. If it falls in the hand of antisocial element and if any multinational company wants to exploit the personal data of person, in that case we must be vigilant. But I think, ma'am, we should use it more judiciously. Like in health sector, it can be used comprehensively. In education sector, it can be used. So in that regard, ma'am, certain ethical guidelines must be there.
Are there any such guidelines in India?
Ma'am, there are not yet comprehensively declared, but there was a AI summit and also there was a Bletchley declaration in Europe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pankaj,
Sir.
you are basically an MBBS doctor. You are also working, as I have seen from your DAF, you have worked as a resident doctor, you are working as a medical officer. Why you want to be a civil servant from being a professional in the medical field?
Sir, the initial nudge of coming into the civil service came from my father, as he was a teacher. However, it got reinforced during health camps, specifically in tribal areas of Gadchiroli and Medghat. And sir, I saw that how administration can play a role in implementation of policies. And lastly, sir, the Ayushman Bharat scheme, the director was alumni from our college, which was doctor turned civil servant. So I got inspired from him also. So I took this decision.
But are you aware there is a shortage of doctors in India? What is the doctor-patient ratio in India?
Sir, coming to the doctor-patient ratio, it is around 1:100, 1,200. And adding on to the Ayush doctors, it is 1:834. However, WHO recommends that the ratio should be 1:1000.
That is why I'm coming to the basic question. That
Sir.
Anybody can be a civil servant, but everybody cannot be a doctor. So I'm not still convinced why you want to be a civil servant from a profession like doctor, where
Sir.
we need the doctors in India because we are lacking in the health infrastructure, in the health areas.
Sir, with the exposure of ground realities, I think as a doctor, I can use my skill sets, be it prioritization of resources and healthcare professionals. And we have seen in COVID, sir, how doctor turned civil servant played a role. Also, sir, as a human aspect, I think I have skills of compassion and a good communicator. So in that aspect also, I can channelize my skills. So rather than being wasted, I think I can utilize my skill sets more comprehensively.
Okay. You have mentioned cricket and writing as one of your hobbies.
Sir.
What do you write?
Sir, I do write the skit themes like on various issues like digital addiction. Then there was a farmer's suicides. On that aspect, I wrote. Also, sir, the comedy and comedy themes in college skits I used to write.
Okay. And what do you think about cricket? There are three formats of cricket:
Sir.
T20, one day, and the test. Introduction of T20, has it decreased the importance of the test cricket? What do you think?
Sir, I think yes, the T20 and the fast pacey game has definitely impacted test cricket, as we have seen that the test matches are not lasting enough up to 5 days and they are finished in 3-5 days. Secondly, sir, the temperament of batsmen regarding the setting on the pitch, playing the ball on the merit has been decreased and they are going for long shots. Having said that, sir, but still we have seen like a Border Gavaskar trophy that test can be rejuvenated and have the element of drama.
Personally, you want T20 to continue even if it is affecting the test cricket, which is considered to be actual cricket.
Sir. Sir, though I am more inclined towards test cricket, but I think T20 format should be continued, as we have seen that it gives exposure to the talent, because on nationwide we can play with only 11 players, but the platforms like IPL, CPL gives platform to other players. Secondly, sir, the T20 format also make cricket popular in Western countries, like sir, the introduction of cricket in 2028 Olympic. So that will due to only T20 cricket.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Pankaj. Pankaj, you are from Gundai, Maharashtra, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you let me know it is famous for which particular thing?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, coming to the positive aspects, it is known as the district of lakes in Maharashtra. Second is, ma'am, it is the rice city in Maharashtra. However, ma'am, there are certain disadvantages also, like it is infected with Naxalism. So it is one of the two districts, Gadchiroli and Gondia. Second, ma'am, the issue of health sectors like malnutrition is there and the farmers are not getting their prices. So these are the issues.
You mentioned about rice, right? So, what other crops are being grown in Maharashtra, especially in your district?
Ma'am, majorly it is paddy. Then there is a certain wheat also, and farmers are increasingly moving towards horticulture also. And coming to the specific, they are taking pulses like arhar dal is also.
Okay. You mentioned about Naxalism problem.
Yes.
So, can you let me know what is the difference between Naxalism and militancy?
Ma'am, the Naxalism is based on the ideology of Mao Zedong, where democratically elected government they don't believe in and they want to throw. However, militancy, the element of sudden threat is there and creating fear, like terror attacks we have seen in Jammu Kashmir. So on that aspect they differ. However, both are converging on creating threats and destabilize the government.
You mentioned about Maoism. Then, how the Naxalism is different from Maoism?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I will read on that.
Okay, no problem. You are born on 17th of November.
Yes, ma'am.
17th of November is celebrated as National Epilepsy Day. What exactly is epilepsy?
Ma'am, epilepsy is a type of a disease in which seizures attack happens, in which the person which is affected is going through a sudden electrolytic imbalance and sudden attacks of that. Yes, this I can remember. Right
Okay.
now.
As per the recent reports, the number of epilepsy cases are increasing in our country as well as worldwide. What are the prominent reasons behind it?
Ma'am, I'm not exactly aware of the reason. Can I attempt?
Sure.
Ma'am, first one will be the electrolytic channel imbalance. Secondly, ma'am, the sedentary lifestyle can also play a role in that attack. And thirdly, ma'am, I think, yes, ma'am, these reasons I can recall right now.
Okay. So, being a doctor, how you can address all these issues?
Regarding, ma'am,
Epilepsy issues.
ma'am, I will work on three pillars. That is, first one is the diagnosis. So we need to have more tests and their frequent checkups. So accordingly, we will establish the diagnosis. Second will be, ma'am, treatment. Anti-epileptic drugs accordingly needs to be given to the patient, and access should be given as these drugs are quite unaffordable. Thirdly, ma'am, the prevention, like creating more awareness, sensitization. So on that aspect, I will work.
Okay. You're a student of anthropology
Yes,
as well. So, what is cultural relativism?
Ma'am, cultural relativism was concept given by Franz Boas. It entails that every culture should be judged upon them, and we should not compare the evolution of any culture, whether it is superlative or inferiority. So it says that we should not force our ideas into that culture.
Okay. My last question: how
Yes.
anthropology contribute to public policy?
Ma'am, anthropology can play a vital role. The first will be the forest policy. 1988 forest policy was based upon B.K. Roy-Bormann's report. Second, ma'am, policy formulation regarding the tribals and their rehabilitation. Like Professor L.P. Vidyarthi gave nature, man, spirit complex to take care of their concern. And third will be, ma'am, we have seen that community development program. There are the elements like participatory rural appraisal. So community involvement in development like village, gram panchayat can play a role.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pankaj,
Sir.
coming from medical background,
Sir.
are you aware about stem cell technology?
Yes, sir. These are the emergent technology of treatment, and it has been utilized in treatment like hemoglobinopathies like sickle cell. There is a recent advancement of Casgevy. So it is still in the nascent stage, but quite transformative.
Okay. There is one therapy that is developed in India known as NextCar19 therapy.
Sir.
Are you aware about it?
Yes, sir. I am aware about that.
What disease does it cure?
Sir, it cure the blood cancer, specifically leukemia.
And what exactly is the mechanism?
Sir, to the extent of my knowledge, in which the cells are being taken out of blood and they are modified, specifically the T cells, and then again they are transferred to the body. So in that aspect, I can remember.
What is this process known as transforming T cells?
CAR T cell.
Therapy. Wonderful. While talking to one of the panelists, you told that you are a good communicator.
Sir.
Let's say you are a DM of a district. How would you convince people in that district for donating blood?
Sir. Sir, the first action I will take by setting the example by myself. Secondly, sir, I will inspire people by the role modeling. Thirdly, sir, creating the awareness through the media like folk tales, folklores, and engaging with folk artists so that people will believe them more. And
I'll stop you here. What folk tales, folklores will talk about blood donation?
Sir, I want to give a personal example, sir. So, in a government medical college, we used to play a street play. In that, we convey our messages in local languages. So, people were quite entertaining and they were also willing. So, in that regard, sir, I think it can play.
How many times have you donated blood?
Sir, 3 times.
3 times in emergency situations. Or are you a regular blood donor? 3 times you are not a regular blood donor.
Sir.
Not being a regular blood donor, where is the conviction that will come from to convince people for donating blood?
Sir, as you rightly mentioned, yes, I am not regular blood donor, but I have experience, and I'm increasingly, due to some health concerns, I was unable to do that. But I think, sir, blood donation can play a vital role, and for that, sir, one intervention we need is the mobile units, so that people should not, they need not go to the outside, but ambulance is there.
Okay. One last question from my side is, during COVID era, we have seen that there is some compromise in the education coming of the online system. Children have not been able to focus on education so much.
Sir,
Do you think that there is an impact on medical education also?
I think, sir, yes, there was impact. First was the classes were not held regularly, and because there was a issue of physical distance. Secondly, sir, the mortuary and the anatomical aspects like working on a live body, that was also missing, and tele-education was there. Thirdly, sir, the patient interaction was decreased as we lost for a time other diseases focus. So excessive focus on COVID. So on that regard, many postgraduate and undergraduate students complained that they didn't get exposure to other diseases.
Right. Very shortly, just tell me one thing, that how would you recommend to the health minister? Let us say you are a health secretary.
Sir.
The health minister asks your opinion that should we start or should we have an all India health service as an all India service under Article 312? What would your recommendation be?
Sir, I think it's a positive step and needs to be taken. Like in British era also, there was a all India health services. However, as health is a state subject, so we need all stakeholders consultation because we have additional post of civil surgeon. So how the duties will be divided, what will be their jurisdiction. So in that regard, the duties should be defined. But I think, sir, it's a positive step, and there will be more coordination regarding the resources will be there.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Pankaj, you mentioned Mao Zedong. Okay, so there is a famous quote of him: "Ki power grows from a barrel of a gun."
Sir.
What do you understand by that?
Sir, Mao Zedong, through this quote, wants to say that the revolution occurs not through non-violence methods, but through a barrel of gun and non-violent violent methods. Also, sir, he believed that there should not be a democracy. So this I can infer right now.
Okay, so tell me, is the use of force ever justified in a democracy?
Sir, I think in the context-based situation, force is justified, like anti-Naxal movement or military operations.
Provide examples from Indian history.
Sir, the first one will be Operation Polo for the Hyderabad and Nizams. Second will be, sir, the 99 Kargil war was there. Also, sir, in anti-terrorist activities like 2008 Mumbai terror attack, we used force.
Okay, so you did some activity or represented farmer societies in
Sir.
the Vidarbha region, and they are demanding separate statehood. So tell me the political and economic impact of such a demand.
Sir, I didn't get exactly the question.
Vidarbha, they are demanding a separate statehood. So in context of Maharashtra, tell me the political and economic impact of such a demand.
Can I take few moments, sir? Sir, coming to the political impact, first it will divide the seats as compared to United Maharashtra. So we have 48 seats, so that will be get divided. Secondly, sir, the representation and bargaining power of the state will decrease. Coming to the economic impact, sir, I think the issue of cutting off Mumbai and loss of access of port will be there. However, certain positives are also there. We will see that more decentralization will be happen because Gadchiroli, Gondia districts are far ahead. Secondly, sir, on economic terms, I think Vidarbha has substantial mining and powerhouses, so that can be better utilized.
You write and perform skits.
Sir.
Okay, so how can skits be used as a tool in public policy?
Sir, the first impact it will create in the awareness and sensitization, as people are more accustomed to that. Secondly, sir, the skits also bring an element of entertainment. So people will be more hooked and get interested in that aspect. And thirdly, sir, for reaching out the so-called remote areas and illiterate people, like, sir, in that regard also, street play can play a vital medium.
My last question to you is कि what is cyber anthropology or digital anthropology?
Sir, can take a guess? Not exactly. Sir, digital anthropology pertains to analyzing data through a digital mode and online mode. Like in COVID, we have seen the distance, and also Margaret Mead in National Character Study used such distant methodologies. And also, sir, regarding the analyzing the social media behavior and culture in that aspect, I think that's digital anthropology.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Thank you, sir.
Pankaj,
Yes, ma'am.
can you tell me an anthropological joke?
Sorry, ma'am, I can't remember right now.
Okay, no problem. But I'm still not convinced that why
Yes, ma'am.
should a doctor be a civil servant? Because again, as the argument goes, that this is a generalist service and we don't need specialists. So please convince me that why you should be selected as a civil servant.
Ma'am, numerically it may seem that I am wasting a seat, but ma'am, I have the exposure to the ground realities, first of all, that I have seen how social indicators in health can play a vital role. Secondly, ma'am, as service is demands diversity from every field, the experts are coming. From medical field also, I can represent the medical community and give my inputs in policy formulation. And thirdly, ma'am, if we quantitatively see also, from my batch, I am the only one coming into the civil services, so I don't think that will be much of wastage.
But supposedly you get Indian Revenue Service or IPS, then how
Yes,
will you
ma'am.
use it?
Ma'am, yes, certain skill sets might not be used, but in longer term, ma'am, I think IPS we can use medical knowledge specifically to the forensic analysis. Also, ma'am, IPS with the help of administration can play and give inputs. And coming to the revenue, ma'am, I think in narcotics, health expert can play a role. Also, ma'am, in subsequent stages of career, we have seen that many secretaries are from other services. So in that regard also, and ma'am, as said, once a doctor, always a doctor. So also I will play.
Okay, okay. So you sing.
Yes, ma'am.
So the last thing you do is you sing a song, and I will ask one more question and then you go.
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, so this is song from Shore movie. एक प्यार का नगमा है, मौजों की रवानी है, जिंदगी और कुछ भी नहीं, तेरी मेरी कहानी है.
Very nice. You sing
Thank
very
you.
nicely.
Thank you.
So last, you tell me 3 women leaders from medical profession.
Leader in the political
Any.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the first one will be Anandibai Joshi. She was
Medical profession.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
asked.
Yes, ma'am. She was the first doctor.
Okay.
Second one will be ma'am Soumya Swaminathan, who was in WHO, played a vital role. And third will be ma'am Florence Nightingale. She was a nursing, so in that regard I will consider.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Sit.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this is your third interview.
Yes, ma'am. This is my third interview.
What were your scores earlier?
Yes, ma'am. The first score was 165 and last year it was 162. I think, ma'am, last year I was not that prepared. Second day interview was there. And also, ma'am, I was certainly bit nervous also. So I think this might be a reason.
Today you were not nervous.
Yes, ma'am.
Today you were pretty confident. That's not a problem. You will remove the ring.
Yes, ma'am.
You will remove the ring.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hai na? You'll get a haircut,
Sure, ma'am.
proper shave, the kind
Yes,
of photo that you have on your
Yes.
DAP, and shoes you will polish, of course. Huh?
Sure.
Then once you asked, can I take a guess?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't ask for guess. If you know it, you know it. If you don't know it, sir, I'm not very sure.
And
But I
sometimes what happens that I feel the urge to answer. So yes, I will.
Don't
Sure.
fall into that.
Sure.
Hmm? Then study a little bit more about your district. That jowar and linseed are more prominent than wheat.
Yes,
Hannah,
ma'am.
you gave a wrong answer there. So just check. But tribal affairs could also be used when there was this question regarding how anthropology can be used for your administration, public policy administration. Use tribal affairs also. Your eye movement.
Yes, ma'am.
So don't do it. The moment you are speaking to one person, look at that person.
Okay, sir. Sure, ma'am. Actually, I was doing this earlier.
Whoever told you the revolving
Yes, ma'am.
eye movement, it's
Okay.
not right.
Sure.
So you look like this. If I'm talking to an eye and I keep looking like this, what does it look?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not focusing enough.
Not just focusing, it is like I'm asking for validation from others.
Right, ma'am.
It's a low esteem way of interacting.
Sure, ma'am.
If I don't look at you and I look at him and speak to you, and then I look at her and speak to you, the trust doesn't build, because
Sure, ma'am.
psychologically trust builds when we have eye-to-eye contact.
Definitely, ma'am. Yes.
So don't do that revolving visual action. Then apart from that, your voice staggered once in a while. Be a little loud, confident. You're a doctor. You're already employed. You're working as a medical officer. Don't become hesitant and
Defensive.
No. And leave that guilt.
Yes.
You are stuck at 160 because you are in guilt.
Yes, ma'am. This is.
And that guilt is, till the time you have guilt, you'll not get 190. So leave that guilt. How do you leave that guilt?
Yes, ma'am.
You realize that government gave you the option. If government didn't want doctors to come, government will stop it. If government doesn't want, that doctors should not apply. But what the government can make a rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Doctors will not apply. If the government has allowed doctors to apply, this means that it's government's intention to have the diversity of people in the governance. Simple.
Yes.
So no defensive.
Yes, ma'am.
कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलो.
बिल्कुल.
वो बोल रहे हैं कि डॉक्टर की जरूरत है कि सिविल सर्वेंट की जरूरत है, बोलो कि सर दोनों की जरूरत है.
दोनों की जरूरत.
If we have nice policies, good policies, we need doctors to implement it. So I can implement it also, but
Yes.
it's my dream, it's my passion to form the policies,
Yes, ma'am.
to work as a civil servant, diversity of work,
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? Just do that. और वो बोलें कि तुम सिविल सर्वेंट बन के क्या करोगे, डॉक्टर ही रहो. तो बोलो कि सर this is what I dream about, this is what I want to do. So government has allowed it, so I have applied and I'm working hard. Otherwise, even if I'm not selected, I'll still be a doctor.
Sure, ma'am.
कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ.
Confidence है. Yes.
कोई गिल्ट रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. तुमने गिल्ट छोड़ा, तुम्हारा 190 आ जाएगा.
Yes, ma'am. बिल्कुल.
गिल्ट के साथ जवाब दोगे तो 160, 65 अटक जाएगा.
Sure, ma'am. बिल्कुल.
ठीक है?
बिल्कुल. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You want to ask anything?
But my energy level was
A little more is
sure.
required.
Okay. And ma'am, regarding that, why doctors should come into civil service? 1-2 inputs from your side.
Why doctor should come?
Huh?
Because firstly, that diversity of knowledge, the collective knowledge of administration and governance also
ma'am.
requires medical knowledge.
Yes.
We have conditions, administrative conditions like COVID,
Yes, ma'am.
where the doctors who were also administrators played very essential role.
Yes, ma'am.
Even for the policy making at the highest level.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, some specialization with the journalistic outlook is required.
Sure. Bilkul.
And third, so every district, every posting, there is some or the other medical outlook.
Yes, ma'am.
Wherever you are posted, there is always a medical outlook.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.